Hello, everyone, and welcome to CoSIDA Conversations, Episode 4, with the CoSIDA President and Executive Director. I'm Sam Atkinson, the 2020-2021 CoSIDA President and Associate Athletic Director for Communications at Gallaudet University. I'm live here in Ellicott City, Maryland, just outside Washington, D.C., and I'm joined by CoSIDA Executive Director Doug Vance in Tucson, Arizona. Doug, how's it going? And welcome to a new year of CoSIDA Conversations.
Thanks, Sam. I'm doing great. You know, I've been seeing a week worth of good news about our members, and it's really energized me. I know it's energized our staff and our board. So I'm feeling great. Anxious to talk today.
Great. So am I. You know, definitely a new year, new attitude. So definitely looking forward to our conversation today. A reminder to our audience about what is CoSIDA Conversations. This is a monthly conversation between the CoSIDA President and Executive Director to discuss all things CoSIDA, the profession, and our members. We want to make sure everyone knows what the organization is doing and discussing what items, projects, initiatives we are working on. On this episode, Doug and I will provide CoSIDA news updates as we have a chance to elaborate on some recent announcements and plug several CoSIDA items at the end of the show. But today we'll be joined by Amy Yokola from the Atlantic Coast Conference and the chair of CoSIDA's Membership Recognition Committee. Amy will discuss further about our 5th annual Membership Recognition Week and all the great things the committee is working on year-round. So let's get started with our 4th episode. Doug, happy Membership Recognition Week to you. It's been great seeing so many great posts across social media with folks using the hashtag #ThankYourSID and also our new hashtag SIDs Make It Happen. How's this week been for you so far?
Well, Sam, I think it's gone terrific, and it's because of a starting point where we've had a great committee of leadership guiding us, our staff, a lot of buy-in from external stakeholders around the country, media, coaches, organizations, nonprofit groups like ours, bowls, writers organizations, just a lot of people who are our friends as an organization and who are involved with throughout the year. And this week is important, very important this year because of what we've been through as an organization, as a profession. And this week served its purpose, I think, very effectively.
I think it's always great too, Doug, seeing the other SIDs giving each other compliments and thanking them and people that have really helped pave the way and help pay it forward for others in this profession. Is there somebody that sticks out to you, Doug, that you would like to give thanks during Membership Recognition Week, or anyone in particular that made a direct impact on your career?
Well, there have been a lot of people who've done that, Sam. I appreciate you asking that question. But if I had to pick out one person, I'll stay in the family. My big brother was a sports information director at Eastern Kentucky. So growing up, I actually knew about the profession, and my first opportunity came to go to work at Austin P, and he knew the SID there, the previous one, and he prepared me. I'd worked for him as a student, but my big brother was really the driving force in helping guide my career, no doubt about it.
That's great. I always kind of go back to my first year in this profession and never being an SID before, and really leaning on a lot of the conference SIDs I worked with in the Capital Athletic Conference when I was at Salisbury University. And a couple of people just really stick out to me that come to light as longtime SIDs are still in the profession right now, is at York College in Pennsylvania, Scott Geis, at University of Mary Washington, Clint Often, and Jim Heath, who was at the apprentice school and now at Hampton University. Those three really helped me a lot during that first year. Took me a long time to get the hang of certain stat crew elements and everything, but just want to thank those gentlemen for their help along the way, and many others, as you mentioned. So also like to point out too, if people haven't had a chance to head over to CoSIDA.com, if you go to CoSIDA.com/ThankYourSID, so many great resources being provided there. I'd like to thank Bo White of our CoSIDA staff for all his great efforts and time that he put in to the different elements that people can be using on social media, but also the new advocacy publication It says publication on the value and impact of college athletics communications. Doug, with looking at this, it's over 50 pages of some great content of allies for to CoSIDA and also people in the profession. What's your take on this publication, and how do you think it will be utilized by our members and people within collegiate athletics?
Well, as we approached the year and thought about it, we always put out a magazine that's an annual report and convention review, and it's filled with pictures about the convention. And since we didn't have a live convention, we really didn't have a resource for it. So we decided in discussions with our advocacy committee and our board and the staff to turn that publication into an advocacy publication. And we started from the ground up. We didn't know exactly what it was going to be, how we were going to fill the pages, but credit to a lot of people. As you mentioned, Bo did most of the heavy lifting, and that, no question about that. I also want to, as we talk about the week in general, I want to thank Will Rosen. Will is the more or less the founder of CoSIDA Recognition Week. He was, as the story goes, he was driving in his car and heard some people talking about something like National Potato Week or something like that. There's so many. And so that's where that triggered the idea to do one for CoSIDA, and it's paid off for us. It's a great advocacy opportunity for us. And but the advocacy magazine, I think, will really be helpful. We've never had anything like that.
Doug, it's interesting you bring up that story. I remember that vividly, being on the board then when Will approached us with that, and about 6 years ago, brought that idea, and then 5 years now, we're celebrating our 5th anniversary of this, and it's great to see that. So when we come back, we'll be joined by Amy Yacola to discuss more about CoSIDA Membership Recognition Week. CoSIDA would like to take a moment to thank all of our 2020-2021 corporate partners for their continued support of CoSIDA. We especially thank our Tier 1 partners: Capital One, ESPN, NCAA External Affairs, NCAA Division II, NCAA Division III, Presto Sports, and Sidearm Sports. Thank you so much for your continued support of CoSIDA. We are now pleased to welcome in Amy Yacola, the Deputy Commissioner and Chief of External Affairs at the Atlantic Coast Conference, the Chair of CoSIDA's Membership Recognition Committee, and former CoSIDA board member. Welcome, Amy, to CoSIDA Conversations.
Sam and Doug, thank you for having me.
We are so glad that you are here with us as our monthly guest, especially during Membership Recognition Week. So first question we have is, how is Membership Recognition Week going so far?
Well, Sam and Doug, this year was very interesting, as it has been for everything else that we've done, that anybody's done. But we're really excited about it, and through a lot of diligence and hard work by the committee and its members and people within the collegiate ranks and even outside the collegiate ranks, I think it's been going very well. It's definitely an opportunity, and that's what you look for in general, and certainly during these times.
What would you say makes Membership Recognition Week so special to you and rewarding to the profession?
Well, I think like anything else, I would say that it's all about people, right? I mean, I think that's why a lot of us get into this profession. We get into this profession because of people, especially our student athletes, our coaches, our administrators, the people that we want to share their story. We want to share the great things that they're doing. We want to recognize the people. And that's why we all sign up for this, these type of jobs in communication, sports information, external is because of people. And this particular initiative of Membership Recognition Week really allows us to celebrate one another. It's less about celebrating ourselves as individuals, but celebrating each other that have joined and entered into a field where there's terrific camaraderie and teamwork, and just the opportunity. And I think especially in this year, right, in a year that is unlike any other for everybody, to have that opportunity is a really nice takeaway during everybody's day.
You mentioned how challenging this year has been. How did you and the committee approach this year's Membership Recognition Week? We knew it was going to be the 5th anniversary for it, but at the beginning of the academic school year, the timing which is normally this is held in November, that really came into play, and we weren't sure when to host this. So how did you and the committee land on January?
So listen, in a pandemic, I'm not sure there's the right and the wrong. I think, you try to gather all the different thoughts and all the different opinions and perspectives, and you try to land on what you think is best and going to serve the greater good of the organization. And as I mentioned before, the people that are a part of it. And I think in this particular instance, with so much uncertainty, especially during the fall, especially as people were trying to figure out how we were going to play fall sports or return to campus, or, a lot of people with families homeschooling their children and virtual learning and just life, right? Personal and professional in there. It just, at the end of the day, what really carried forward was sort of to hit the pause button and be able to punt towards January, where we hope we would have more information. We hope things would look a little bit different and there would be at least some answers. And so that's really what sort of drove us to that. It was great that we had the support of the board. We had the support of the staff. We had the support of the committee. Again, we could have landed in a lot of different places, but the goal was just to create the best week where we would have something to look forward to and something to mark on the calendar as we moved forward.
Now, you might think that your duties as the chair of this committee might be over after this committee recognition week is done. But that's not the case. This is the first year that membership recognition has been a full-fledged committee for CoSIDA. So what does the committee hope to do the rest of the year to help promote and recognize CoSIDA members?
As you mentioned, Sam, this is the first year that this is a full-time committee, and I can't say enough about the members that are combined to make this group really, really an awesome group to be a part of. I would also want to recognize the board and the staff. Everybody has just been terrific as we have come together for the first time as a full-fledged committee. So to answer your question about looking forward, I think the opportunities are endless. I really love the energy that we've had in meeting. I think first and foremost, it's to continue that advocacy for each other and within college athletics, to be everything that we can be as it relates to all of our responsibilities, which, as I said at the beginning, we all signed up to do this for the right reasons, which was to promote our student athletes, to promote our institutions, to promote our coaches and our administrators. And there's, I think, a lot of exciting opportunities as we look ahead to continue doing that, and recognizing one another within this terrific profession.
Well, thank you, Amy, for joining us. Doug and I would like to personally thank you for all your hard work with the Membership Recognition Committee and your efforts during this week. So we look forward to the future successes of your committee moving forward.
Well, thanks for having me. It's an honor and a privilege to be not only a part of the Membership Recognition Committee, but also a member of CoSIDA. So thanks for having me.
We thank Amy for joining us. It was great hearing from her, Doug. We looked ahead to our mailbag. We had no questions this month, but we do want to hear from you, our listeners, our members. So please submit future questions to our mailbag by DMing us through Twitter at Sam Atkinson SID and D Vance CoSIDA. So we look forward to answering future questions on an upcoming episode of CoSIDA Conversations. So Doug, this past month we did have opportunity to meet with our friends over at the NCAA as they held their 2021 NCAA convention virtually. How did the meetings go in your eyes, and maybe share with our listeners some of the people that we were able to meet with?
Thanks, Sam, for asking that question. Throughout the years, we have been meeting with leaders at the NCAA. We normally do it in person at the NCAA convention, and obviously this year the convention is virtual like everything else. So the board and the officers and the staff meet with various groups. This year we met with the governance group of Division II and Division III. We had divisional chairs also joining us for those meetings. We also met with Eric Christensen and Gina Leahy from the Communications department of the NCAA, two great friends of our organization and allies. And finally, we met with President Mark Emmert, who has made this a priority during the NCAA convention. He reaches out to make sure that he's available to meet with us. You know, we talk about being at the table to help make decisions, and this is our seat at the table at the NCAA convention. It's important to us. It's proved to be a great advocacy opportunity, and we've taken full advantage of it. And this year, the challenge of doing it virtually actually enhanced it because we were able to include more people who were normally unable to travel at the NCAA convention. And down the road, we'll do the same thing at the NAIA convention a little bit later in the year.
Now, we look forward to those meetings all the time. You know, we talk about advocacy and champion our profession and our organization, and it's meetings like these that really make a direct impact on other allies that support CoSIDA and others, and within collegiate athletics to open their eyes to our profession as we continue to advocate for all of our members and this profession in general. One of the things too, Doug, that came about last semester was our donation drive for membership. You would like to update the listeners on how that went and what came about it?
Yeah, it's a brand new initiative in a very unique year where budgets grew tight, and we knew it would affect our membership this year. Although our membership has been very strong, but we decided to open up opportunities for people to donate to CoSIDA to help sponsor a membership, and we got a good response from it. And this year we were able to add 27 new members thanks to these donations, and give those people the opportunity to be involved in CoSIDA who otherwise wouldn't have. So a great group of members and people outside of the profession stepped forward and contributed to that cause.
Definitely want to plug too, if you feel inclined, please. Our donation portal is still open, so you can go to CoSIDA.com/donate if you can. And we appreciate everybody that had donated. Also like to give a special thanks to NCAA Division II, and also with their ability to use some of the grant money to help with that. Really appreciate all those that donated, and appreciate NCAA Division II for their efforts as well. I have a couple plugs here, Doug, that make sure that everybody's aware of. Thank you to those who nominated fellow colleagues for the CoSIDA Special Awards. The deadline just passed. It was January 24th, and we look forward to honoring those honorees later this year. And a reminder that the Fred Stabley Senior Writing Contest deadline is coming up. It's January 29th. So head over to CoSIDA.com/Stabley for more information on how to submit for the contest prior to the upcoming deadline. Also, the Publications and Digital Design Contest will open up soon. Again, head over to CoSIDA.com/publications. And another plug for our next webinar, which is Thursday, January 28th at 2 p.m. Eastern. It's time with the NCAA Media Coordination and Statistics staff. So they're going to be answering questions on COVID-19 policies for fall and spring sports, record keeping. So you can head over to CoSIDA.com and register for that upcoming webinar. We're looking forward to that. And also for any of those who have been able to volunteer, a lot of people did volunteer during Martin Luther King Day or over the holidays. Head to CoSIDA.com/volunteer15 to submit those hours. So Doug, as we wrap up this episode, again, Membership Recognition Week, one of those weeks that we always look forward to every year. What would just be your summary of this week and the benefit that we continue to see from it?
Well, I think it achieved its purpose. We've celebrated our membership, our profession, our organization, and taken a lot of pride in doing so. And I think it reminds not only people outside the profession, but people inside the profession, our members, of the essential value that we bring to athletic departments. It helps us internally and it helps us externally. So it fired me up for this week and gave me some momentum as we move forward in 2021. Totally
agree. So thanks for joining us for this month's CoSIDA Conversation. We want to thank all of our CoSIDA members during Membership Recognition Week. We also want to thank our members for the dedicated and trusted work they deliver day in and day out, year-round for their athletic departments and conferences. Thank you for all you do. We will see you next month on CoSIDA Conversations.